Alright guys, welcome back. So, last video I was doing the pylons. The pylons are done except for the wingtip missile rails. So I went ahead and I did all three on the bottom of the fuselage. That one, like I said, most of the pictures I saw, I didn't see that one on because it's so close to the gear door. I'm guessing they don't put much on there if they ever do. But I went ahead and drilled them. They're just held in there with screws so I can remove it. That way it's already drilled and tapped. Everything, you have to measure everything from, you do one wing, get everything lined up, and then you have to measure everything on this one to make this one line up because they're just not, it's the only way you can make them perfect. But the showstopper for the wingtip pylons, or missile rails was that's gonna fall. Let me just lay this down. Was the fact that the wingtip rails are kind of beefy. They're not crazy heavy, but they got a little weight to them. And then of course you put the missile on there, and they're pretty heavy. And then they had these lollipop, keys cut in, but they didn't have any screws on the wingtip. So I matched everything up, and I test drilled just to see if there's any wood in there. And of course there's no wood in the wingtips. So I thought about just gluing them on, but then like the logic in me is like, that's a bad idea. Why would you want to glue them on? So because you could never take them off. Well, I'm not going to take them off. Like once they're on, they're going to stay on. Whether I take the missile off, that's another thing altogether. But the missile rails are all going to be on there. And the jet does sit kind of high, so I'm not too worried about it hitting. Because I mean, if you hit like that, you're gonna do some big damage. And I'd rather this break, where you can glue it and redo it that way. But then you're like, well, you can't take it off to fix it. You glue it on. So I'm just kind of like going back and forth to make it removable and support a missile. It's going to need blocks glued in for support, and then probably what I would probably do is just run like a short carbon rod through it and have it go into this other side, where it slide, the carbon stays on this, and then you just slide it into the wing. That way it's just that extra rigid support. That might be the best bet, is put it on where I need it, draw the outline here, put two little carbon dowels in it, and then drill a hole for the carbon dowels in the wood, put a little block. I don't even have to put a block in there. I could always fill it with well, kind of needs to be a block, so I'll probably just glue in a block, and this would slide in, and just put a screw and a screw to kind of help hold it. But we'll see. I don't know how other people are doing it. I'm guessing there's supposed to be 2 screws there, but like I said, where the lollipops are cut on those, which is not where they need to be to make those go on right, you really can't use those pre-cut lollipops because it makes them sit weird after looking at a bunch of pictures. Anyway, so I kind of put that on pause. Went over here, jumped on these, just putting things on. These are held in with 3mm screws. There's blind nuts glued in. I had to kind of cut a little bit. The screw holes on the pylon weren't lining up with the 2 in the fuselage, so this one actually had to come forward about 2mm on both sides. So I put the screw in on the front, and then just took a Dremel with a little kind of grinder tool and just kind of went forward a couple millimeters, and then the screw lined up. This one is just sitting there. I'm guessing this is where this goes. I gotta look at some more pictures. I know that one's where it goes because of the way it's blind nuts and of course the little prefab part into the fuselage, but I'm guessing this is what this is too. But there's no access to this little channel, so wherever, basically if this is where it goes, which I'm assuming it is, I'll look and make sure, get it where I want, put a little hole or mark it, and then drill and depending on what's in here, I mean, it feels pretty solid, so I don't know if they got, it feels hollow, so maybe there are some wood blocks in here somewhere that I can screw into. If not, this would be 100% something that I probably just glued on. Like this one I would probably just glue anyways. I mean, I'm always going to leave them on. These I want removable, like the Tomcat. That way I can take them off and set it on the ground. That kind of deal. So, and this allows me to get access to the servo area here. I might take these out or just disconnect them here and then move them out of the way that way, because you can kind of see that the servo actually, from what I'm getting at, looks like it sits somewhere. I'm guessing it sits in here probably like this, if I had to guess. With those L brackets, it probably that doesn't line up. I don't know if, yeah, it might go just like that, and then you run the rod. It's got a little rod to that arm which sticks out right here, so it's not going to be too bad to get to. That's just kind of a stopping point tonight, and I'll start those tomorrow. The wings are done, is minus the tip pylon, so I'm going to move to putting the flapper on servos in and getting those working. I do have to make a fix. I looked, and unfortunately it's not the, I hope you guys can see this right. There's got, you know, it's a live hinge, there's a wire that runs through, you got G10 little tabs with the hole in the G10 tab that's glued into the wing itself is actually the right size. The problem is, and you can see it, look at that, is the hole or whatever's inside the actual surface is too large and allowing it to move. So I gotta see what's going on there. This one, I think this is the worst one. The other one's got a little play too, but it's not as bad as this. And I just gotta check that, because it appears to be these two. That one's pretty tight. That one has no slop in it that I can tell, so it's these two that need to be fixed, and I'm hoping I can just put some glue in there and as it sets up, run the tube through, and I've done that before and it works really good. Yeah, that's just a lot of play. I mean, that's a lot, so something I gotta fix. Alright, so that's it for tonight. If you got any recommendations for those wingtip pylons, let me know how you did it. This thing's actually got some pretty good detail on the bottom. I just noticed this. And it'd be cool if you know, and I'm sure somebody would do it. I've seen people do it before. It'd be cool if these were actually function. The little flappers, you know. But yeah, oh, well, I'll show you this, guys, real quick. So this is with the gear up. This little guy, I guess, is connected to a one-way cylinder, air cylinder, so it releases it. So when the gear comes up, it's all rusty, need to lube it. It hits that and clips into place. That's your lock. I like that. So, and everything seems to move really well. Some beefy gear. Oh, got some, I'll have to check all these. I know some people have had some leaky gear issues. I don't know what it is. And then got some pretty cool little detail here. This will have to be painted green. These 3D printed pieces here. But, and then you can see here, like I was talking about, like, crap, I can't get it. Yeah. So, see how they hit? So this one has to open first, then this one. Because if this one is closed, I guess you could do it the other way too. You could make this one open if first, and then this one, nope. So that's what happens. This one has to open first to clear. Yep. So this one will open, then this one, and then gear will come down. Kind of the same thing as the Tomcat. I had to do the same thing with the Tomcat. So anyways, you guys have a good evening, and I'll get on it tomorrow. Hopefully tomorrow I can get those flapper-on servos in, then I'm going to move on to the rudder, and then finally the stab. Stabs will be the last ones because of the having to glue in those big carbon hinges on the actual stab itself. But you guys have a good one. I'm gonna go chill for the night. It's 10 o'clock. Dang it, stop. There we go.